Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Lamode, and today on Hot Lamode we are going to be talking about the Prada Resort 2019 collection. I actually think it was a very interesting collection, not just for the clothes, but actually for the business parts behind Prada and how Prada is trying to get back into the mainstream. Before we get into the actual video though, if you guys are looking for a channel that talks about fashion in the most fun, sassy, bitchy, analytical way, this is it, so you can go down below, hit the subscribe button, turn on my post notifications. What do you have to lose? Also, if you want to see more from me, you can follow me on Instagram at HotLamode. I post funny stuff sometimes on occasion. And if you guys like these kinds of videos, definitely give it a like. It lets me know. So let's start this review. When I started the review of this Prada show on the 4th of May, I felt extremely disconnected from this collection. It was really minimal, the fabric looked too vintage for my taste, and the styling really confused me. And honestly, I'm happy I put off finishing the review because I've had a change of heart since then. Thank God for procrastination. And if Miuccia Prada is doing what I hope she's doing, she has solved the problem of being able to cater to two different generations of customers without tainting the brand, the fashion shows, or herself. Before we look at the collection though, let's talk logistics. Prada is one of the most recognized fashion houses in history. The brilliance of its creative director, Miuccia Prada, has kept it going even in the hardest of times. The company was extremely slow in adopting social media and the internet, while it was described as having too high a price for some of its bags. Seeing as how the internet and social media is the new way to communicate with your audience, and bags are the bread and butter of most fashion houses, you can see how this caused a bit of a problem. But the Prada cult that Miuccia unknowingly created has stuck by her in both the media and retail sectors, and the past two Prada shows were brilliant. The mixing of 90s streetwear with Prada's quality and quirky designs and fabrics were a hit with the press, and as of late, the hype beasts. Even I called for the resurgence of Prada, which I still stand by. So when it was announced that Prada was showing their resort collection in New York, I was excited, obvs. I also forgot to request a ticket. I mean, it never hurts to try, am I right? This was Prada's second ever resort collection. Normally, women's resort looks were placed inside the men's shows in June. Miuccia only started showing resort because she felt that the brand needed to adapt, and adapt it did. The show took place in Prada HQ on Manhattan's Midtown West. The building used to be a piano factory until it was overhauled by Swiss architecture firm Herzog and de Meuron. And against the backdrop of the Hudson River, the models in full Prada regalia took to the runway. For this show, Miuccia stripped Prada down to its basics, essentially reigniting its former 80s and 90s reign of the fashion industry. Originally, I deemed this collection too pared down for the likes of fashion Instagram, and I was right. This collection wouldn't translate well there, but maybe it wasn't meant to. What if this collection was meant for an older consumer who appreciated Prada for its design, not the hype? Essentially, this collection was for an actual clothing consumer, someone who appreciated Miuccia's design aesthetic long before Instagram was even a thought. The opening look on Julia Nobis was spectacular. It was simple, but it did the job. A black nylon trapper hat, a black turtleneck, a long slender brown skirt, and gray and yellow heels in a technically athletic material all breezed down the runway and never let you believe for a second that it was a strange look. It was essentially man repeller, but like sexy. Miuccia continued with this minimal 90s theme, opting for the trapper hats and the athletic fabrics with funny little designs, changing the colors of the skirts and turtlenecks to either a cream, blush pink, or key lime green, and adding vintage-looking suede coats. Then came the ugly prints, which Miuccia is infamous for, in both skirt suits and suits. Open-toed mules in geometric prints clashed perfectly with their cloth counterparts. The skirt suits were played out with what looked like embroidered tights in different colorways. A new Prada logo even made its debut on cotton leather t-shirts with or without a strategically placed ruffle. And the wraparound miniskirts with interesting ruffle placements stayed a constant throughout the show. Leather camisoles layered over vibrant printed shirts continued to thrust the 90s at us, while a more subtle menswear edge began to slink in with short skirts and geometric pants. While all signs point to this Prada woman being super feminine, I can't help but feel a very masculine overtone to the collection. The more layering we saw, the better it got. And it also includes Prada polos, perfect for shocking your waspy relatives at the next family polo match. Then came the brilliant skirt suits in the technically active fabric, which I don't know what technically active really means, I just made it up because that's all I can describe it as. But the vivacious piping in both red and yellow, and the longer coats of the same variety, had me gagging. They all felt very schoolgirl, which led me to imagine Miuccia Prada watching Gossip Girl. Then came the print party to end all print parties. There was floral jacquards, more embroidered tights, a diverse range of t-shirts, really weird hats, more colorful mules, and square-toed heels. It honestly gave me a panic attack, but it was a Prada panic attack, so the only way to cure yourself is you wrap yourself in really quality nylon, but I didn't really have a gigantic yard of quality nylon on me, so this is just my ghost talking to you. My new favorite Prada piece is what I like to call the tress. The tress is a t-shirt dress, but not in the way we normally know it. On top, it's a cute tee, but at the waist or hips, it turns into a more sheer, flowy dress, blatantly sewn over the t-shirt. Some of the tresses were simple but effective, with beaded or geometric shapes embroidered on top, and other times they were there to be subtle, under lovely leather coats. The accessories were another standout part of the show. The hats were ridiculous, but it's Prada. What were we expecting? Something normal? No. The bags and shoes were difficult to see in both the runway videos and photos, but once you got to see those behind the scenes shots, they really glowed. The bags were diverse, simple, clean, and looked expensive. Let's just hope that the price tag isn't too much for some of its customers. The shoes were quite diverse as well, but I could easily see them becoming a trend and having every Instagirl in New York wearing them. And the gigantic chains around the models' necks conjure up images of Iris Apfel, the legendary New York style icon. Did Miuccia take a lot more inspiration from New York than we originally thought? Overall, the collection really seemed to have hit home for the press. Many editors seemed to be so relaxed by the collection that they just took the night off. I know I say that's an accomplishment a lot, but that is an actual accomplishment. The thing about Miuccia that I've been pondering is if her resort collections will cater to her older audience, while her spring and fall ones will focus on reaching a younger demographic. I mean, there's no way to keep both sides happy unless you do something like that. I'd like to think that Miuccia is 5 steps ahead of me and 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you thought of this Prada show in the comments below. I love to hear your thoughts and opinions always. You guys are so fucking smart, so let me know. Also, I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much, and TTYL.